background, we say hope deferred makes the heart sick. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. So what does that mean? If you're not careful, that you could allow yourself to go down with the negative space, the way things are, so much that if opportunities are thrown your way, your mind is already said that nothing good can really happen. So why even consider? So the first thing is kind of just to again work through your mind to the context of saying, what can I do to ensure that my mind is not being carried away with the negative toxicity that is happening in the market? For me personally, what I had to do, courtesy of my mentor, was to audit. Every time I find as if my energies are going low, you must audit who and what you're hanging around. Who and what you're hanging around. Because you know, negativity spreads faster than positivity. So if you're not careful, your very environment, your spouse, your family, your parents, your relatives, your church members, the business community, your employees can talk you to believing that nothing good can ever come out of this situation. So the first thing is just to check your money mindset, whether you or your team. And if you're a leader, it is so important that you're not projecting negativity. Even if you know things are tough, don't be a broadcast within your community of saying things are just so tough, nothing will ever change, you know. And so what you're saying is you're postponing your life until 2027, or God forbid, until 2032. So the first thing is to get your money mindset. The second thing we are talking about, especially for a business leader, is do you have a sales target or an income target for 2025? Or are you in the boat of comme ci, comme ça, whatever will be, will be? It is important that whatever you're doing, no matter how negative, you could be living in debt, and I've been there, where now, instead of creating a target which you're saying, even though I'm in debt, that is where I'm working towards, you have surrendered, or you have surrendered your business or your organization or your team to whatever will be, will be. It kind of makes sense, but I would challenge us that we need to have a target, a financial target towards which you're working towards. Even if it's 10,000, 100,000, a million shillings, 50 million shillings, 5 million shillings, 100 million shillings, you know, whatever amount it is, we need to be working with a target so that when we are coming into a space of business and talking sales, the reference point has to be that target. Not Ruto, not Gashagwa, not Raila, not anything. Those are objective matters, but the goal should be, what is your target? So that in the end of the day, if you don't achieve that target in Kenya, who says we cannot achieve it in Tanzania or Uganda? Who says we cannot achieve it from, you know, from another space? Who says we cannot achieve it from Dubai? You will still be sitting in Kenya, but we can generate that income from somewhere else. So if you forget anything today, make sure that at the end of today, you have a target. And that target has to be the decision driving force, because it's from that target. Say, for example, you want to make a million shillings or 2 million shillings or 200 million shillings this year. That target should be the one that is driving the conversations around your life, because out of it, that target is deciding, are you meeting your rent? Are you meeting your payroll? Are you able to pay your nanny? Are you able to pay your school fees for your children? Are you able to meet the things that pertain your life? So I would say the first thing is you need a target to hit. If you already don't have a target, I would say at this point, that is the first discussion you need to have. The second challenge is that target has to be an aggressive target that will cause you out of your comfort zone. Because as it is, whatever target you're setting, you will agree with me, it is very small. I always say in Nairobi, if you're living under 1 million shillings a year, it means you are not living the kind, you're not able to meet so many things. I could just throw a common one. Maybe when people call on you to contribute for a burial or a wedding, you're not able to meet those kinds of commitments because your target is very small. So I am saying you need an aggressive target that will need you to change something within your business to hit that target. So that is the first element, that you need a target. The second item we are going to be talking about is to get attention for your product, your business, your idea. Get attention. Now, here it doesn't matter if you're running a church, if you're running an NGO, if you're an employee, if you're running a business. The first goal for you after setting an aggressive target is to get attention for your business. Get attention for your business. The first job of a CEO, according to Donald Trump, is to ensure you secure your assets. You secure your assets. I would say one of the best way to secure your assets is to ensure that attention becomes one of your greatest assets as either a business person or just someone who's running ideas. Ensure that you are able to get attention and manage this attention. Keep this attention because money follows attention. Money follows attention. Nothing more, nothing less. I see some friends here who we've done events with before. Now, if you've ever been in an event space, is a very good place to illustrate this fact that when you're running an event, you'll find that the mind will be drawn into doing every other thing other than the one most important thing for an event, and that is get people to pay to come for this event, or at least, even if it's free, get them to know about the event enough that they make an investment of time to come for that event. So the goal here is how can you leverage whatever resources around you, whether it's digital resources, if you have a budget enough to go into traditional advertising, whether you're going to get creative, go to work through your communities to get attention. I was saying in the last session, you'd wonder why politicians, especially presidential and aspirants, can spend upwards of $500 billion just to get attention. It's because money follows attention, nothing more, nothing less. End of story. If in your business things are not moving, like we've said, the same business Safaricom is working in, the same business KCB is working in, the same business Coca-Cola is working in, rather the same environment, is the same environment you and me are working in. So the denominator is the same environment, but the core is who is able to get attention, who is able to keep attention, and who is able to multiply this attention is going to win in the end of the day. And to do this, the best way is to always ever be in front of your customer. Always. I gave an illustration, again, from a biblical perspective, that you have two people, Mary and Martha. They come before Jesus. Jesus enters their house, and one party is complaining because she seems to be the only one working. Martha, Martha. She's the one who's gone to Naivas to buy the food. She's the one who's prepared the meals. And she knows she's probably the one who will have to do the dishes after the guests are gone. But what does Jesus say? He says, Martha, Martha, you are worried about so many things, but only one thing is important. And Mary has chosen that thing. And that is to be in front or to sit at the feet of your client, to sit at the feet of those you are serving. To get attention of the people you want to serve is the best way to change the zero in your economic equation. That is why Coca-Cola has never stopped advertising. That is why Safaricom never stops advertising. That is why KCB, that is why Equity, that is why the media houses never stop advertising. So the thing is, how do we get attention of our audience? We are living in a time and age where it is very easy. It is very easy to get attention in terms of all right. Sorry about that. I had to mute someone. We are living at a time because of the technological advancement. It is still very easy to get people's attention. So the goal is, as a business owner or a sales professional or someone who is thinking of an idea, you should focus more on getting attention from your target audience than just focusing on the other operational things which are equally important but subordinate to getting attention, because your number one idea when you set up your business, where you're coming up with your concept or idea, is to convert it to monetary results. And if you're going to convert it to monetary results, that money is not sitting in your pocket. That money is sitting in someone's pocket. And the best way to get to that money is to focus on how can I get attention of these people. I give an illustration, maybe it's a negative one, but you can be surprised the way these ladies on Koinange streets go to a great attention. They know exactly where their target audience is. Unfortunately, some of them stand out of parliament. That is one of their target attention. Can you imagine? They already know that for me to get money, I need not to sit in the house putting on makeup. I need to walk to where my customer is. Same for the hawker. They know you will be entering your matatu in the evening. Or if you're driving, you're on the highway. So they have decided to bring their wares on the streets. And chances are no hawker necessarily ever goes home without at least one sale every day. But I'll surprise you, there's a company that has 10, 100, 1,000x more than that hawker that will not cut an invoice today. Simply because the hawker has done what Mary did: sit at the feet of the people you want to serve. Sit at the feet of the people you want to serve. Doing the dishes is important. Buying the food is important, but it is subordinate to sitting at the feet of the people you want to serve. So, having said that, to do this, one of the things we say is the other limitation that many businesses are facing is minimizing the number of people they want to serve. So you get a business that maybe is just rounding around there are 50 to 100 clients. Now, given you could be in the nature of a business that maybe if you kill 3 birds in a year, you are home dry. But then I'll challenge that narrative. Why not kill 10 and 10x whatever? If you are making 500 million, why not kill 10 businesses and scale into East Africa, scale into Africa, scale into the whole world? Look at what the Chinese are doing. They are right in our grandmother's neighborhood. Look at what the Americans are doing. But most African businesses, we've really limited ourselves. We only, navigate around a small community and we are satisfied. Um, there's again a story. I'm a student of the Bible, so allow me to share. There's this time when God asked these people after Noah's flood to go into the whole world to spread. But you know the story. What these people did, they found a plane called Sinai. They found a plane called Sinai, and that Bible says they settled there. They settled there. And many businesses, I am currently writing to Safaricom and telling them not to have a rival mentality. Just because you are number one in your space does not mean you are doing the best you could do. Just because you're the best in that space. And there are many businesses that have been crushed because they had plateaued, they had entered a comfort zone. You could even be an employee and you've entered a comfort zone. All it takes, and CEOs are in the nature of seeing you are very comfortable. They'll introduce someone else. It is called the catfish theory, to ensure that either you are forced to swim or sink. You will be forced to swim upward or you will sink. And nature has this principle where when you are not growing, it will introduce something to force you to grow or to force you to die. It will never leave you at the same. So it is important, especially also when you're in a comfort zone, you're enjoying a certain income every month. By the time the new entrant will come, you will have conditioned your muscles to what is called muscle atrophy. You've not been using those muscles for a long time. Then when a sharp person enters into your space, you'll die. And that is what digital media has done. Many businesses, look at our media houses, the standard groups. I hope no one here is from the standard group or is not your client. Look at Nation Media now in trying to survive because they were the best in the market. Instead of going into how can we innovate, how can we renovate and go to the four corners of the world, until you're in the four corners of the world, you have not arrived. Even Mark Zuckerberg is himself trying to see. I remember the other day he said he underestimated TikTok. See what is happening. His market shares, his revenues are being eaten. So the goal here, or the call is, never settle, especially when you're number one. Never ever settle. No matter who you are, never settle, because number two is always working hard to see how can they pull you down. So I have said, number one, you have a great idea or you're already in business. Number two, you need to get attention. You need to get attention. Number three, your team needs to increase the number of people that they are serving. They need to increase the number of people they are serving. Now, it doesn't matter. Right now, even in for those who are employed, I keep saying you need to position yourself that you are not like in a bad marriage, where when this employer kicks you out, then again you are starting from scratch. Always package yourself to the extent whereby, I like the people in media, you hear amefutwa KTN, boom, that evening Citizen imemchukua, amefutwa CNN, Al Jazeera imemchukua. Yeah? I like Larry Madowo's story. Just like that, like that, like that. You always need to be in an upward gradient of reinventing yourself, reinventing yourself, reinventing yourself. And that's what big businesses do. That's what Elon Musk does. Always reinventing yourself so you are ever fresh, no matter how long. Even the Coca-Colas, I see their branding, whether it is their branding or even tweaking the taste kidogo, so that you are ever fresh in the market. Wow. So before I go into the next session, maybe I want to get feedback, one or two things you've learned so far, and or you have a comment or you have a question, right? Where you are right now, whether you're employed, whether you're in business, whether you're looking to start business, whether you're leading a team in the space you are, maybe one thing you've learned, or maybe a burning question of where you are and what you've been considering and what we could share here that could help you move to the next level. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can either unmute or you can chat in the chat. Where are you right now? And how can we help you move or add a zero in already the incomes that you're having? Karibu, karibu, please. There's no right answer, wrong answer. Any answer is welcome. Caroline, I see you there. Lillian, I see you. Karibuni sana. Let us know, where are you and what could you do? What are you focusing in this year? How can you add a zero into that income, whether it is a salary bill, a side hustle, a corporate you're running, what can we do? Or maybe just feedback, what you've had so far, what have you resonated with? Caro, I'm picking on you. Where are you right now? And what are you working at? And just in simple terms. Caroline, are you there?
Hi, I'm in a
Ah,
noisy space. I'm
ah,
not so sure it's the Caroline you picked on. I'm seeing there are many
it is
Carolines.
well.
Um,
Mm-hmm,
yeah, but I like the aspect of the importance of this visibility in a business.
mm-hmm,
I think I would like advice on restaurant space.
mm-hmm.
How can I make myself more visible? Um, I put some adverts, but I would like to know how can I increase visibility for a restaurant space.
Is the business already in operation, or is this something you're thinking of starting?
Yes, yes, it's running.
Ah,
Yes.
awesome, awesome, great. So for me, what I would say about restaurants right now, especially in this generation, nearly it's like image is everything. So other than either your food needs to make the shouting for you that you have amazing food, that for me would be one thing. I've been in many restaurants. I was in one very big facility. You could tell this guy has sunk nothing shy of 100 to 200 million Kenya shillings. Somewhere, some along Mbagathi way, not Mbagathi, what's it called? Is it Magadi Way? Not Magadi Way. What's this place? Rongai. As you go through Rongai, the place is palatial. I mean, one of these outdoors, but the service is pathetic. Service is extremely pathetic. So number one, definitely, if you're in service, I would say one, your product has to be amazing, definitely, and they have great nyama choma or whatever the food you're serving or something like that. Then number two, definitely the customer service, the way people are treated when they come, the ambience in there. And then number three is just the branding. Does your place look good? For me, the few spaces, because of what I do, I'm very sensitive to when I go to a space, try to understand what kind of service, how could this place go. There's a place I go around Mombasa Road, and I keep asking these people, you guys have such a great space. How come no one knows about you guys? They have good food. I love their fries, but no one knows about them. Yet again, down the road, there's a space where, okay, it's not necessarily that their fly is doing, but it is not necessarily the comfort of the sitting, but the kind of food they serve and the kind of service that they have. So for me, in the restaurant space, I would say it's a combination of different things. But now the end game is get attention. Get attention for your restaurant. Now, you could do that leveraging whether is the digital media space, whether through WhatsApp. One of the things I always say is just invite your local ecosystem. After this, we can chat on the side. We could give you some tidbits of how we can drive traffic into your restaurant. Number one, I would say cultivate your immediate community. Cultivate your immediate community. The temptation is always, how can I make people over there get to know about me? And that's fine, but cultivate also your immediate community, work your immediate community so that they know. Do your friends and relatives, do the people you went to high school with, do the people you went to primary school with know that you're currently running a restaurant? If you went to college, are they aware that you're running a restaurant? The people you've worked with before, are they aware that you're running a restaurant? Um, some of your good relatives, everyone has a good and a bad relative, but some of your good relatives who are kind to you, are they aware? I was just chatting in the last session we had with the person here is, like Caroline, if I see your handle here, it is written C, I'm sure it is your initial, but right now that initial should either be the logo of your restaurant, like I see Kelele here, have that as a logo, or it should be having a flyer of this week's offer. What are you offering this week? Is there an offer you're doing? Are you doing something for women? Are you doing so? You can work around such kind of gimmicks just to attract people. When it is Madaraka Day coming in a couple of days, is there any offer you're doing maybe for Madaraka Day?
You could play around with, of course, your menu, Madaraka Special. You don't even need to invest more. You just call it Madaraka Special, Coffee Madaraka Special. The thing is, you're trying to drive traffic into your space. Then cascades certain, like the Muslim community are really doing well. It, maybe depending on where you are and your target market, can you target like the Muslim? Their target audience is the business community. So, are you giving free Wi-Fi? Do people know they can come there for a meeting? I mean, play with certain things, but one, I would say, start with your digital media space. It is the greatest leverage, cost effective to get attention. So I would say just ensure you're on digital media, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Before even you put an ad on digital media, the king of digital media is not the impact you're going in terms of intensity, but it's consistency. Ensure every day people get to know you. Caroline, what's the name of your restaurant?
It's called Alice Dishes. It's in town, Racecourse Road.
Whereby in town?
Racecourse Road, those sides of OTC.
Oh, Racecourse Road. Okay, great. So that is a great place. The good thing, I'm very sure that place has high traffic. So the thing is, if you do you have like either do you have a signage, a good signage outside your place?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd say the signage should communicate. I know that means you have a city that attracts a city council cost, but this is a necessary investment, I would say, that you'd want to make the thing. On here, I see there is a what is it called? I have a designer on board called Joe. He can help you come with something catchy, especially now that you have with the Gen Z communities. You know, the Gen Z community are attracted by glitz and glamour. So for you, also, the kind of signage has to be very catchy. The communication, it should not be overcrowded. It should be something very catchy. And the name of your restaurant should catch a buzz, so that if I'm down there and I'm meeting, say, who is here, and seeing Lillian is here, I should be able to tell Lillian, tukutane OTC. She should, all of us, the first thing that comes in mind should be like, what is the average meeting point in Nairobi, and say, tukutane Java. You get, tukutane, inaitwangaje, CJs. So, brand your restaurant name with a catchy brand, even the name that you have, so that if we are thinking of meeting or we're having a meeting, we should think of that name. It should fly off the radar like this, right? So thank you, Caroline. I hope that helps, but we can chat on the side. We'll give you much more information, but first things first, change your digital media handles to reflect the brand you are representing. Great. Let us get maybe one more feedback. Caroline, you have a comment?
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
All right, great. Maybe we get one more comment, then it is already 11:56. In the next 15 minutes, we can try and land it with some other tech bits of just how can we ensure that you are at a point of increasing the revenue flowing to your life or to your business. One more comment. It could be a question, it doesn't have to be a comment. Welcome, Vera. Welcome, Vera. We have two Carolines. Caroline number 2. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Any question, any comment? How can be your service? It doesn't have to be a sophisticated question. In the end of the day, it's just the zero in the M-Pesa you have, the zero in your bank account. That's where this river ends, in the zero in your bank account, regardless what you're doing. The game is how can we enter more zeros behind the figures. Caroline is in office. All right, I understand. Great, great. Lillian, Salamia wananchi. All right, all right. Lillian seems to be all right. Kelele, are you there? Let us hear from you. How's business doing? How can we help you add zeros onto your account? All right, all right. Joe, you want to say hi to the community? Joe, are you there? Mr. Joe. Awesome, awesome. So, we've seen about getting attention. We've spoken about increasing the number of people that you are serving. So, the next thing we want to talk about is if you have a team. Now, obviously, here maybe not everyone has a team, but if you have a team, how do you ensure that this team is producing? How do you ensure that this team is producing? You know, because whatever goal you have, chances are you will not be able to hit it by yourself. So if you're a solopreneur, if you're a CEO, one of the things that we encourage is that work into a place where you are not working in the business, but you're working on your business. Work yourself out of your business. Most African businesses globally, but let's look at Africa. Many people continue in startup mode. And the game should be how can you work yourself into a space where you are working on your business and you're not just working in your business, you've just become another employee in your business. So you need to set this foundation very early on when you're starting your business based on the goals that you're setting. If your goals are such that all by yourself you can attain them, that is okay. But the critical goal is how can you set a goal such that once you start growing, it will necessitate you to add more hands, especially in terms of client acquisition or order generation or client visits to your space. One of the things that ensures most SMEs in Africa remain SMEs, yet other businesses come into the same space and grow in your same industry, in the same businesses, is the analogy. You know, I had a Korean boss who used to tell me that most African businesses are like an amoeba. You know, that amoeba. It, it's already, whether you put an amoeba somewhere for 100 years, it will never grow bigger than its environment. Yeah. Yet you should be like a shark. Depending on the environment you are in, you can actually outgrow that environment. So the goal is set your business way well early on to grow. And from this community, the Fufua 10X community, our goal is to help Kenyan businesses and African businesses go global. So, for example, I know Vera here is getting into the laundry business. So, Vera, your goal should be how can you eventually be in all counties in Kenya? How can you open branches in Kenya? That mindset alone will change your approach right from the beginning. If, like Caroline, you're running a business, the restaurant business, how can you open franchises in every major county in Kenya? That should be your midterm goal. My goal, if you're in my space, is how can we go global? That's it. We can't. We Why should Chinese come and do business in Kenya and we are not doing businesses in their countries? So if you are Kelele, how can you get businesses running or clients in UK, in US, around the world? That should be your goal. From the very goal, that's why we start that your goal is very important. It determines everything else. Two people can start with the same goal. There's a gentleman called, not Walt Disney, but he's called, I forget, J.C. Penney. He said you give a salesperson with a goal and a salesperson without a goal. After 10 years, one salesperson who didn't have a goal will become a stock manager. He will become a stock manager. But the salesperson with a goal will end up becoming a global wonder, like he did, like Walt Disney did, like Walmart did, like James Mwangi here locally did, like the founders of Safaricom did. So many businesses in Africa don't pay too much attention to the need of having big visions, big goals. And even those goals, to be honest, zimekonda when you hear the vision of someone. So what I'll infuse into us is you need to get hungry for, no matter how small you're starting, Vera, with your laundry business, can you become the business that is moving into franchising so that you are here in Nairobi, but your business is in Mombasa paying you? Can you run your business such that you have an outfit in Kisumu, you have an outfit in Nyeri, you have an outfit in Nakuru, in Naivasha, you have an outfit in Eldoret? That should be your goal. Caroline, the same. Can you run your business so that from OTC, you have another one on Moi Avenue, you have another one on Mombasa Road, you have another one in Westland, you have another one on Gong Road, you have another one. So I'll be pushing each one of you separately on the side that should be the vision that you should be driving, that you grow your business to become a national outfit, not just something that pays you and that's it. No, it should be so that you are able to grow your businesses to get branches. And that is the kind of James Mwangi vision, where now you're moving to Rwanda, where now there's a restaurant, in fact, a Kenyan restaurant that's doing very well. It's in Zambia, Malawi or Zambia, if I'm not wrong. So I am trying to challenge Kenyan entrepreneurs, especially those in the medium, small and micro enterprises, that yes, you may start small, but can you not remain small? And how will you ensure you don't remain small? You must associate yourself with businesses and get mentors that are going to push you out of that comfort zone so that you are thinking very, very big. Now, the average pushback I get when I'm talking about growing big in Kenya is Fred, let us be realistic. all, all friends I engage and talk about, let us grow big business. Let us be realistic. Now, in the last 5 years, I've dedicated my life to following global billionaires in terms of their content online. And you can draw a denominator out of most of the information they share. One, before going even further, is that it is called OPM. OPM, kama unaandika unaweza andika hiyo. OPM. 10 out of 10 of these billionaires used OPM to grow. They grow using other people's money. That does not mean you steal it. Other people's money. You need to get to how can I raise capital for my idea? How can I raise capital for my business? Or how can I raise capital to finance a project or a course that I have? And they use OPM. And OPM will draw us back to the need of getting attention for your idea or your concept. Now, many ideas
I thank the late Dr. Miles Monroe for this statement that is now globally used, that the richest place on the planet, as you know, is not New York, neither is it China, neither is it in the Arab world. The richest place in the planet, as you know, is in the graveyard, because there great ideas died because people never manifested or executed on those ideas. So the most important thing you need to do is to finance your idea. Now, we'll have another session of how do you raise capital for your business. But the best thing is to get attention for this business idea so that you can attract people. I can sign a check for you here today and tell you, by the time you're scaling your business, the people who will finance your business are not even people who you knew by the time you are starting your business. I'll say that again because you possibly missed it. The people who God has placed to finance your business right now are alive, and you have never met them and they do not know who you are. So don't look into your environment and say, I do not have someone to help me, or how will I finance? It is strangers, 9 out of 10, who will finance your business. The most important responsibility you have is to package value, because people will finance value, not, they will give to pain, yes, here and there, but people who will finance your business, they will finance it because they've seen value. I have experienced it myself, where people very close to me who had capacity to help me did not finance my business, not because they were against me. In the onset, when you're still, there's a word we use, when you're still thinking as a child, we say there's children and there are sons. When you're still thinking as a child, you'll just say, these relatives don't want to help me, or people these days, or Kenya cannot help your business. That means you're still at the level of a child. But when you grow to be a son could be male or female. That means you've matured. You'll understand that people are not necessarily refusing to give you money because they don't want to help you, but you have not communicated value. You have not communicated value. When value is communicated, even price does not become an objection. The same people who will not give you 30K, the same people will not give you 300K, the same people who will not give you 3 million shillings will go somewhere else and finance 30 million shillings to strangers because value was communicated. Because value was communicated. So it's okay to say there's 15 people who don't want to help you because they are haters, or Kenyans help one another, or people from your tribe don't help one another. It could have some semblance of truth, but at scale, it is your inability to communicate value that puts money at bay. So your goal should be, whether you're trying to raise 100 million shillings or 100 million US dollars, your goal ought to be, how can I communicate value to the right audience? There is more money on earth right now than any other time on earth. Therefore, don't put your mindset into there is no money. No, is there is no value being communicated. So the most important thing you need to do, and we can help you with that, is communicate value. And then when you have created the value, you need to get mass attention to that value from your right audience. And one of the ways of doing this, one of the ways of ensuring that you are getting attention from the right audience is how you have packaged that. And I want to add this, that this does not just mean for a startup. This could mean you're already in business. You see what Elon Musk is doing when he's coming up with a new product. That is a new model. And he will raise hundreds of billions of dollars for that new endeavor. Same for Safaricom. When they are coming up with a new concept, they have to raise money for that concept. The same market that you say has no money or the economy is bad, you will finance Safaricom in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So first, like I said earlier, you need to change your money mindset. of thinking there is no money. No, 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 no. There is enough money. When the student is ready, the teacher shows up. When the student is ready, the teacher shows up. So one, get your idea. Two, package your idea to solve a real problem that is in the market. Now, do you know, interesting, a real problem that is in the market does not just mean a painful problem out there. Do you know one of the products that solves one of the biggest problems in the world is actually luxury products? Can you imagine that? In the space where children are dying of hunger, people are willing to pay for luxury just because the person who's selling that luxury has packaged their product and is talking to the qualified audience. That's why right now Boeing is still making multi-billion planes because there's a market for it. That is why Gucci, that is why all these guys are making products. Mercedes-Benz is coming with new models every day because there's a luxury market for it. The thing is, can you package your product? Can your team package your product well enough for its intended market? You will be surprised that in this same market where maybe you could not be able to make ends meet, that in this same market there are people, hotels, which are packaging a new product, selling a holiday for maybe 500,000 shillings, and it's going like hotcake. So the issue is just how are you packaging your product for the market? Okay, so as we begin to learn this, I just want to challenge us wherever you are, please, as I said in the beginning, ensure you have a target. And if you already have a target, ensure you're getting attention for this target. And to get attention, you need to move out of your comfort zone and talk to as many people as possible. Get yourself a goal. Personally, I have a goal of ensuring that by the end of the year, anyone who is in the top 3 million people in businesses starting from the state house, they will know my name. They will know my name. Whether they like me, it's not my business. Whether they'll buy my product is not my business. They will know who I am, what I do, what I am solving, how I am solving it, and how I can solve it for them and at how much. That is the way out of poverty, no matter what you do. It's the same thing Elon Musk is doing, is the same thing the Chinese are doing, is the same thing Safaricom is doing. Is what is your product? Whom are you trying to talk to? How can it help them? And then make sure as many people, as many eyeballs are going to that product, and then converting them, and then converting them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:16. I don't want to rant. I love to hear feedback, so I know that we are still together. Let us get 2 contributions, and then we start landing. I would love to learn one of the course we are doing. If you are having a new product, either in your existing business or your startup, I'm giving people a shelf life of 30 days to ensure they've executed. So we are going into June. So if you are starting a business, June 1st, I am giving you a startup. We are going to have a session in June on June 1st. So that by June 31st, it's off the floor, off your mind, it's on paper, it's written, it's now in the market, it's flying. People are now putting pressure of demand for that product. You'd rather deal with customer complaints than be locked somewhere trying to perfect your product. You'd rather deal with even negative feedback from the market. Now, this one means you need to change the way we've been cultured. The negative feedback is bad. Donald Trump gets the highest negative feedback on this earth right now. But the boy has a lot of money. Did you see the kind of deal he closed in UAE? So for you, To get leverage in the market, you need half the market loving you, half the market hating you. Even Jesus had the same. Don't be so beat up into everyone loving you. Just ensure half the market loves you, half the market hates you, but nonetheless they know you. That is the goal. The goal of a sales team is to get its business known. Conversion will come. But how will conversion come if no one knows you? Conversion comes when people know you. I was sharing with the previous session we had that the reason why God is passionate about his name, he knows it is not the best product that wins, it is the best known product. It is not the best product that wins, it is the best known product. You can write that. I got that from my mentor. It removed me from my comfort zone. Don't be so concerned about getting your product perfect. Don't be so concerned about ensuring everything is perfect. You will perfect and fail forward. The most important thing is get known, get known. Uh, hey, God is so passionate about his name. He said, you will have me as your God. It's his first commandment. You will love me first. Get into your space where you are loved first by the market. That's how you'll dominate. Get into a place where you're known and you're loved first by the market. Don't worry about these other many million moving pieces in your business. If you have an idea, first get it known. Do not even wait. Do not wait. My sister Vera, your laundromat. Do not wait even to get where you'll be washing. First get your name. If today you get 5 orders, Vera, to be washed, trust me, you'll find a way to wash those things. Whether you'll buy that washing machine today, whether you'll go to a third party to get those clothes washed, you will get them washed. If they say we are going to give you whatever, if it's even 2,000 shillings, I have this suit, I have this skirt, I have this, I've seen you do washing laundry. You do washing, yes. Okay, here I am. Will you turn them away? No. If you turn them away, then you're not ready for business. You should get that money, find a way to get those clothes washed, and that should be a wake-up call. It will cost you whatever it will cost you to ensure you go, you find a place, whether you'll do the washing from your house, whether you'll put that machine in someone else's space, it will get you moving. Do not wait until your product is perfect. Get the product, get the flyer. Like I say, you can go to Canva online, they'll make for you a flyer. You can get a designer. Gen Zs are there. Some Gen Zs, you'll pay them as little as 300 shillings. They'll make for you a flyer. Or you can just do traditionally what we used to do. Make a simple Word document, simple wins. Do not complicate your life. Simple wins. A lot of startups fail, or a lot of new projects fail because of they make it complex at the beginning. Make it simple. Make it simple and execute. Take it to the market. I was in the space of saying I want to let's get feedback. I see we have some feedback. We get feedback. We want to help each one of you. You are part of the pioneers. By December, I had someone saying yesterday on TV, was it Arocho or someone, that you should be having 2 mbuzi in your compound, whether you'll be in your Oshago, Gishagi, or whether you'll be in Nairobi. Lazima ukuwe na mbuzi mbili based on the income you've generated. Or you'll say your neighbor is an Illuminati because he has the 2 mbuzis and you don't have. It's just that alijipanga mapema to ensure he's adding zeros. Each one of us should welcome our relatives or friends for 2 mbuzis because of what we gained in this journey. So I'm opening up some last comments. Where are you? How can we help you? Feedback you've had, and then we can land this board. Karibuni sana. Let's see at least from each one of you. What did you pick today? At least that one necessitates a feedback. What have you learned? Chat in the chat, or just unmute yourself and say, what have you learned today that you feel has been stopping you or that you can implement right away today? Anyone can go. Uh-huh.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon. Good
How are you
afternoon.
doing, Wally?
Good afternoon, Johnny. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming here.
Paul got in late, but just two or three comments, just add-ons. When you talked about the part of financing and people, yeah, either you go to relatives, you go to friends, etc. I just want to highlight one thing. If you look at the this Muslim community, especially the Somalis, it's
Yes.
not an issue of I've talked to a few because I keep asking them, how do you come up and do a building of say almost 2B or 1.5? They tell me, no, just go tell your people around you, and they come up and do fundraising and give you. And their
Yes.
model is so interesting, whereby, if, by the way, Mali, do you know they don't repay back even a
Yes. It's
coin?
haram.
He
It is
doesn't.
haram. Yeah.
He doesn't repay back. What happens? He'll now sort out this guy's relative brother in a
Mm-hmm.
project or in whatever venture, not even
Mm-hmm.
really as in employing him. Now, when it
Yes.
comes to us, and I'll say specifically Kenyans, the issue is, Mali, you come and tell me you want to start up a restaurant, just the way I think Carol is the one doing restaurant. She
Right.
gives a brilliant idea to her people within her surrounding, and they'll say, "Hey, we give say what 50M or 100M to start up or to scale up." They'll say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
she'll scatter, she'll go away with our money. Yeah, we
Right.
can't do that." Well, this same person will just go put this money in a fixed deposit in a financial institution earning less than 6% or 7%. Well, if they invested in someone's business like Carol's restaurant, maybe
Right.
Carol could be given a repayment of up to 15 to 20% once
Very
she's back, she's on her feet, all alive and kicking. Now,
good.
we don't trust each other. We don't want, and there's this other thing that I've noticed. I don't want to see you, Molly, prospering going forward. While I have that 10 million, I have that 50M, I can sort you out to scale up or to start
Mm-hmm.
up. That's one thing that I hope, guys, in this forum, when you get there, hold someone's hand, lift them up.
I
Don't
agree.
let them down there. I personally have tried to help a few people here and there, uh,
Mm.
and yeah, things work out. If they don't, it's okay. I don't even follow up. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with
Mm.
whatever little. Even do you know even helping someone who's starting a what do you call it, selling of clothes or whatever on the side. Someone just
Yes.
needs maybe 10K, and you sort them out, and they'll be able to kickstart their venture.
A
I think
hundred
that's
percent.
my parting shot for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the. In fact, what I want us to do, I'll pick you up on that point because I want it to be a global talking point among us as Kenyans because we are letting each other down. Yeah. And then what happens now is every foreigner is coming. Even we've been complaining about the Chinese and the Arabs coming into our market. But do you now know the Burundians are coming into Nairobi? The Rwandese are here. Even these Sudanese are here, and they are capitalizing in these negative relationships we have. Where you get, for me to prosper, I have to leave my family and go look for strangers because I can't prosper in my family. I agree with you 100%. It's a narrative we will definitely change. It's a narrative we'll definitely change. Thank you so much. Let's get one more comment, then we'll land this boat and we'll share our next session shortly.
Sorry, hi. My name is Opar. I joined late, but I like the last thing you said about other people's money.
Yes.
Yeah, scaling up using other people's money. I think it's important that we learn the concept of proposal development and selling ideas and just doing it. just do it. Even if it's not working, just do it. You will learn as you go. So the most important thing I've picked up from you today is just get it done. Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Just get it done. You will say yes. You'll learn along the way. Whatever happens, you will fall down and pick yourself up, but you'll learn along the way. But I wanted to make a comment about the issue of trust.
Mm.
I think basically we didn't wake up one day mistrusting each other. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't wake up one day and think that, oh, I can't trust my brother. It's when you're burned once, you learn,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
that the fire will burn you again. So it is
Mm.
not something that just grew that we don't trust each other. I think we should work to reverse the
Mm.
narrative.
Mm.
Yeah, we should stop complaining and work to reverse the narrative. Support
Mm.
someone. If you support someone and they don't give up, don't go bitching about the way they didn't give back, because then you are helping to propagate the negativity.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
find a way to reword that word positively. Yes,
Mm.
and think maybe they're not able to give up because they could not support. So
Mm.
always when you provide support, provide support with the idea of giving forward. Someone said about he mentioned about someone having money in the fixed deposit account when it could benefit someone's business. But someone having that money in the fixed deposit account is thinking that they're going to earn them business. You can support someone's business and they don't, not only will not give you returns, but in the end they end up showing you madharau when they have grown, right?
Mm.
So we
Mm.
should learn to give forward so that when
Yes.
you give someone assistance, don't think of making income, think of
Mm.
forward. So
Mm.
if you help me today to get work, the next time think of the next generation. I could be having a son, a brother, an uncle, and
Mm.
that way you support each other.
Mm.
Propagate the idea of giving forward, not returning back to me,
Mm.
giving forward. And that if all of us have learned to give forward and that we learn to propagate positive narratives and not negative narratives, because you're always propagating complaints, is
Mm.
that's why we are building mistrust. We should
Mm.
learn to start propagating positivity by asking for forward. Don't ask for money back.
Mm.
Ask for your son or your brother to be put in that project. That way, you're also, in investing that money, you're providing for someone else to be uplifted. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you don't have your own, give to your neighbor. It will
Mm.
not kill you. It will come back to you one way or the other. Thank
Right.
you. But that my lesson for today was other people's money and just do it.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Adrian. Thank you. Really appreciate those comments. Couldn't agree with you more. And what I love, even as a country, we are making the financial bill at this time. I believe from last year when we got engaged with the financial bill, because it is whether at a macro or micro, it's going to affect each one of us. It's going to affect the kind of roads around your neighborhood. If it affects the roads around your neighborhood, if you're driving, it affects the health of your vehicle. If you're not, if the cars are going through damage, it will affect the fare you pay in the matatu. It affects everything. So I agree with you heavily. And just to be in the space where we are going to start changing a culture by the results that we actually propagate in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:31, a minute after the scheduled time to end. I cannot tell you how much I feel honored for having each and every one of you joining us today. We are just getting started and we are going very far. We are just about to engage different stakeholders, both national government, county government, the big corporates. We're about to engage the SMEs. We are talking with the Ministry of SME, Ministry of Trade. One thing we are insisting on them is that it is okay for them to have the high flying events, but we need to feel the impact on the ground. We need to take it on the ground so that when a ministry is positioning a policy paper, that, like I said, the gap between the policy formulation to execution is taking too long. So we want to see that gap change, and we'll be inviting each and every one of you. Look out for us. We'll be posting a lot of information very shortly, so that we can all together as Kenyans change the narrative. Like I shared yesterday, Kingangi and Maina Kageni. Maina was asking, why is it every Kenyan right now would do anything to leave this country? You know, because Kenyans are at the wall economically, and we need to change that narrative. And I believe we are getting into a space where, as entrepreneurs, our influence can no longer be underestimated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. We'll be sharing some more information coming out very shortly. I honor you. I pray for you. And if you've not started business, between 1st June to 30th June, we'll be offering something for startups to ensure that that period that some of us took 10 years, 20 years to start, we want to make it for you less than 30 days. From the time you get an idea to the time you're executing it, we can make it less than 30 days. The money, as Adrian says, itatupata huko mbele. But we need to move away from the idea lab to the execution space. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord cause his face to shine upon you. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, both Carolines. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you so much, Lillian. Mary, I honor you. Thank you for joining us today. The Lord bless you, and that is the end of our session. Tukutane tena. Look out for the next joining. Thank you, Joe. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Oh, you raise your hand, brother. Please go ahead, my brother.
No, no, no. I wanted to say thank you very much, Mali, for putting up this space, and we look forward to more of them. Have a
Thank you.
great day and a blessed afternoon.
Thank you
And
so
may all
much.
of you be blessed.
Mubarikiwe sana, mubarikiwe sana. Thank you, Millicent. Thank you for joining us.